Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Alex here, and I have 5 picks for you. I got a 5 flex on PrizePicks. So we're going to go through a little bit of PrizePicks strategy as well in this video. So I've explained this before, but what's really fascinating about PrizePicks is any 5 picks you select, doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, doesn't matter if you throw in an NHL pick, you're always getting the same payout. Right? You're always getting the same payout for a 5 flex. 10x if you go 5 for 5, 2x 4 for 5, 3 for 5, you get 0.4x. So I've explained this before, but what this means, right? Because PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform, right? They don't change your payouts based on you selecting over or under, is you have to win, so you got to hit 54.3% of your plays to be profitable. Right? That's all it means. So if you're winning 52% of your picks, so let's go back here. Let's say you can select your player props, your over-unders correctly 52% of the time, so lower than that break-even 54.25%. You're horrible. Your ROI is negative 14%. Right? But if you're hitting plays 55% of the time above 54.25%, your ROI is 5%. Right? So all you're looking for, literally, all you have to do to beat PrizePicks long term is win your picks, so win your over-unders that you select over 54.25% of the time. So as a data-driven sports bettor, this isn't, it's not easy. It's time intensive. I'm not saying it's easy, but what I use is the OddsJam positive EV, positive expected value tool right here. And this tool works for sports books, but essentially on PrizePicks, all this tool shows you is player props where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. So you're going to notice right here, all the books have Brooks under 3.5 rebounds, heavily favored, right? FanDuel has it at minus 140, Caesars minus 145, DraftKings minus 140. So all these books, they all set lines independently. So I've explained this in other videos, but essentially, the way you think about it as a sharp bettor is you have dozens, numerous data points, all these different sports books telling you where the line should be set, right? These books have invested hundreds of millions of dollars collectively in their ability to set lines to price bets in every single sports book. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, right? They all have the under heavily favored for Dylan Brooks. So this is the most profitable play currently on OddsJam for tonight. Right? You want to take Brooks under 3.5 rebounds, and it's really that simple. All the books were following the data. All the sports books have his under heavily favored, his under 3.5 rebounds. So that's the play we want to go with, right? You can see FanDuel. So I'll zoom in a bit. So you can see FanDuel has the under at minus 140. So if we put in FanDuel's line, they have the under at minus 140. They have the over at plus 114. So they have the under favored. So what this calculator does, a no-vig calculator, is it just takes a sportsbook's market and tells you based on, the odds they're putting out. So FanDuel has the under favored. So the under is going to be over 50% to occur, right? If the sportsbooks have the under favored, it's more likely than the over. So it's going to be over 50%. But what we want is plays that are over 54.25%. So this play, according to FanDuel, is 55.52% to win. So that would be profitable in a 5 flex, right? Your ROI would be 8.5% if all your picks are hitting at a rate of 55.52%. So again, sportsbooks have slightly different odds from one another. So you're going to see Pinnacle, which again is known to be the sharpest sportsbook in the world. They have the under all the way at minus 151, right? They have the under even more favored. So according to Pinnacle, right, all these books have slightly different odds from one another. The under is 56.28% to occur. So if you're hitting your player props at a rate of 56.28%, your ROI on PrizePicks playing 5 flexes is going to be 14%. And I'll include this spreadsheet in the description so you can kind of play around with it. But essentially, all the books are telling you the same thing. Brooks' under is a lot more likely than his over. So this is a play you want to include in your PrizePicks entry. So I also took D'Angelo Russell under 16.5 points. So just the bet in bold in green on OddsJam, as well as Matt Zuccarello under 2.5 shots on goal. And I've explained this before, but OddsJam recently added a new feature. It's called the fantasy screen. It's free to use currently. It's in beta mode. But essentially all this tool shows you is spots, right, where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. So you're going to see for Taylor Ward, right, DraftKings has Taylor Ward to score a run. So batter props runs scored. It's just reading in all the data from the market. Taylor Ward is heavily favored to score a run, minus 140 on most sportsbooks, minus 210 on FanDuel. So he's heavily favored to score a run in the Angels game, right? So that's a great player prop to include. So when you're using the fantasy screen, all the picks in green are winning over 54.25% of the time. So they're going to be profitable in a PrizePicks 5 flex, right? It's all the player props winning over 54.25% of the time. So those are the plays in green. Those are the ones you want to include in your entry. Anything in red is still not profitable. Sure, for Torrey Craig, for example, the over half of a steal, so Torrey Craig to get a steal, the sportsbooks have his over very slightly favored, but only around minus 130. It's not as aggressive as, let's say, if we look at, Jordan Montgomery, under 5.5 strikeouts, sportsbooks have his under really heavily favored at like minus 155. So you want to look for spots where sportsbooks have some serious juice, like minus 140 juice, towards one side. So here are the player props I went with. Again, most of these plays are just from the EV tool. So we have Brooks under 3.5 rebounds, Russell under 16.5 points, Matt's under 2.5 shots on goal, Taylor Ward to score a run, and Jordan Montgomery under 5.5 strikeouts. Literally just following the data. 5 picks. Use an odds jam, following the data, following the market, using sportsbook odds to find spots where books have one side heavily favored, and we can get that line on PrizePicks. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make some money, guys.